The Pandora Show.
All right, this is the Bunzarelli Show. We do this on Twitch. We clean it up. We throw it on all your favorite podcast players. And, of course, joining me, I got my buddy Khiim in the house. Khiim, how's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. How about you, man?
Very good. Khiim, last week or last episode, when we did our conversation about WandaVision, we said some stuff off the mic, and I kind of want to get clear the air on that stuff because I think it applies to a lot of the way I look at things.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of fandom's looking at stuff the same way. When, we had a lot of expectations, we got a lot of, letdowns.
Yeah.
From WandaVision. And there's a couple of points to that. First is we came off Avengers Endgame. I mean, the last thing we watched in theaters was Captain America lifting Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like to get from here to down here, but the reason we were able to see that is because they built.
Yeah.
And then we were able to accept Thor.
Yeah.
We were able to accept Captain America.
Yeah, it wasn't something that just all happened at once.
No, they had to get us to a point where they bought it. Like, even like the first Avengers movie was a triumph because we saw all these guys in their solo movies, and it's like you get them together, and all of a sudden it's like, you got to sell us these guys, and they pulled it off.
Yeah.
Looking back, they just made it happen because they got, they leveled up so much since then.
Yeah.
But they pulled it off. Also, some of the things that I actually remembered that we were talking about after the show was when Disney Plus first came out, there was no coronavirus. There was no, everything's been delayed.
Yeah.
What these shows were meant to be, and don't get me wrong, like I'm still tearing my Quicksilver poster off the wall. Like there were some disappointments, but there was some. I still go back and watch WandaVision because I still love that show. I still go cherry pick my favorite scenes.
But just coming off of Endgame and then ending into that.
Yeah, but the original plan for Disney Plus was movies were supposed to be coming out this year.
Yeah.
Like Black Widow was supposed to come out. I think the Doctor Strange movie might have been out by now.
Yeah.
So what this was designed to do was be a character exploration. So from WandaVision, the point was to explore Wanda, which we did, and get her to level up.
Yeah.
Get where she needs to be. Going into that, because kind of learned that from the WandaVision burn, because we're expecting world-changing events, but no, you have to build again. They're not going to do another Endgame. They got to get their chess pieces back in their place, the people that are left, and explore these people. So now what you're doing is, the way I'm looking at Falcon Winter Soldier is Cap hands Falcon the shield. And instead of just having that next Avengers movie where Falcon's got the shield, hey, I'm ready to go, now we have an exploration of it, which is, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
It's not that cut and dry, not that simple. And that's what I think it is. What all these things were meant to be was character studies, character developments. Like the conversations we have between these movies, these writers and directors are having these conversations. That being said, was like, that's how I went into watching this, and that's what I got from it.
Yeah.
Because I went looking for that. And a lot of the stuff, like, you start with a Falcon. So here's the things Falcon's got going. Steve hands him the shield.
Yeah.
And he goes, you're a good man. Goes back to what the scientist told Steve. You're a good man.
Yeah.
And we've had this conversation before. Falcon has always been ride or die with Steve.
Yeah.
Always been by his side and everything. The thing we haven't seen and we've seen everything from Falcon. We've seen courage. We've seen, loyalty. What we haven't seen is leadership. I think that's coming. And I'll get to that at the end of the show, how I think it's going to kind of turn around and everything.
Okay.
But we're seeing his struggle with just taking the shield, because he did say it feels like it belongs to somebody else.
Yeah.
But it's not that cut and dry simple to him. I have theories about that because they're hinting at it at the show. Follow me on this, guy. Call me out if I'm wrong. I feel like they are acknowledging the black man's struggle in this show. It's there. Like, it's not all pretty with the Marvel universe. It's not like, no, it's still, there's still the real world's happening here.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the way, especially when I watched episode 2, the way he reacted to those kids in the street and they were like, hey, you're Black Falcon.
Yeah.
I think he's a little hesitant because it's not just taking up the mantle of Captain America. I think there's an added pressure on him.
Yeah.
That he knows.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not just being the new Captain America. I'm being the new Black Captain America.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a lot on that. Like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And also his respect for Steve.
Yeah. And, I'm kind of glad that within the second episode they addressed that, because you're right. That was like a harsh topic to like address, especially being a Marvel Disney property.
Yeah.
Within the first episode, when they were just like, oh, these white folks or whatever they said, I was just like, whoa, like, this is Disney, right? Like, what's going on? It just kind of took like a hard approach to it. I was like, oh, okay, so like they're gonna take that,
Well, it's grounding it more.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like Falcon's like, I'm representing more than just Captain America.
Yeah.
And I'm going in with a little like something more I got to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
I will say, though, if they're going to... I want to see more grit. If they're going to go grit as far as dramatics or, like, theatrics and the topics, I want to see more grit action-wise, too.
I think a lot of grit's going to come out with John Walker.
Yeah.
Because I know, just from loving the character, I know where they're going with him. He's U.S. agent.
Okay.
Who's the grittier version of Captain America.
Yeah.
And he has taken on the Captain America role. Mm-hmm. I already know that's not their plan. I feel it. It's because they knew what they were doing. They knew you saw like Falcon clench his fist.
Yeah.
Because they kind of threw him under the bus. Like, oh, okay, we'll just put your shield in Smithsonian, and then just like picked a different guy. Like, just went behind his back and did something else.
Yeah.
And, he didn't want to carry that legacy. I love seeing War Machine, Don Cheadle making that thing. The other character development and the other struggle we got going on is Bucky. Mm. And I love the way they're dissecting his character. Yeah. Because he's straight up saying it to the psychiatrist. Because if you think about it, if you go back and watch Captain America, like he was like the upbeat guy. He was a sidekick, there was his death. He disappeared. And he straight up says it to the psychiatrist. And this goes back to that character explanation. He's like, I just woke up and been fighting for 90 years. Yeah. And then I got snapped out of it, and then I went to Wakanda, had a rest, and then I went into Infinity War. Yeah. Like, so he's just been going. Yeah.
And what's crazy is, like, I almost feel like I have like amnesia going back through this stuff, because I know I've watched all of these movies that have come out, but I've now recently started watching it with my girlfriend because she's getting into it. Mm-hmm. So like I'm going back and watching these movies, and now knowing the final outcome of like these characters and what they turn into, I'm seeing things, and it's just like it's bringing to different light. Yeah. There's lots of stuff that I forgot about,
and there's stuff you can't peel these layers back in a movie without losing the audience. Mm-hmm. The show has going for it is, I believe, like we talked about pacing in WandaVision, I think the pacing in this is nice. It's like action, exposition, action, exposition. Yeah. I think it's like every show, it's like good, it's not like, we were in WandaVision, like, oh, are they doing this? They're doing this. But now it's just like, okay, we're not expecting any world-changing things. I'm taking it as Falcon's journey to becoming Captain America.
I'm not gonna lie. To be honest with you, I don't really like the show.
Oh, really?
That far, no. Like I don't know. I'm not invested in either one of the characters. Can't remember enough about them. I know who they are, but that's what this journey is. Yeah. I guess because it's more reality based, I don't have as much expectation for it as to where I was like, okay, well, I don't know anything. I don't know that much about Scarlet Witch or Vision, but I know at least they both have these crazy, fantastic powers that something crazy is going to happen, Well, that's the other thing. You have to remember, you have to take yourself from here to here. Exactly. Because there's not movies happening. Exactly. You have to think, what if there was no Marvel Universe and you just saw this show on TV? You'd be like, this is a pretty cool TV show. It's pretty action-packed. Yeah, it's got good action scenes. It's nothing that we haven't seen in any of the other, It's nothing that stands out to me yet. Yeah. I'm expecting the story to be what makes this stand out.
Well,
there's not anything like huge revealing, but it would just be a good, well-balanced story, I guess.
Yeah, well, what I think it's going to be is, like the same way at the end that Wanda leveled up, I'm expecting Falcon to level up. Yeah. I'm expecting Falcon to end up with the shield and taking the mantle.
Bucky's gonna level up too, because the White Wolf.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He mentioned it before, and he's finding himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And he had that that dynamic with Falcon, and it's funny because you're like, well, are they forcing this? Are they not forcing it? But if you think about it, Bucky's got nobody.
Yeah.
And Bucky has Falcon, and what they share is Steve.
Exactly.
And that's really the closest bond he's got to anybody.
Yeah.
And Falcon's been looking out for Bucky for Steve.
Yeah.
And Bucky's alone, and he's like, the psychiatrist is like, why don't you answer his calls back?
Yeah.
And even like him taking the shield, that angered Bucky, which Bucky explored.
Yeah.
He's like, if Steve was wrong about you, he was wrong about me. And it's like, I don't know where Bucky's going to go, and that might change with him too. I mean, what I'm saying is, if they just shot this new Avengers movie, so they're going to line up these different characters, this leveled up Wanda, a different kind of Spider-Man. If it's going to be War Machine, because War Machine, he's not going to be Iron Man. Nobody's ever going to replace Iron Man.
Yeah, no.
Nobody's going to take that. But War Machine can make that Iron Man presence as far as the robot suit.
Exactly.
And I've never taken War Machine as a different Iron Man. Like, he's his own character. The suit could be the same. He could be back in that gray suit just like Iron Man, but he is a different character.
Yeah.
The same powers or little added guns, but he is a different person, different character. Same thing being said. So if you get these chess pieces into position, because you got to build towards it again. So what you get is you get your Falcon, but when Falcon comes in that, if they call it the new Avengers or the next Avengers or whatever, instead of Falcon just appearing with the shield, he's earned it. If you really followed the backstory, you kind of see his journey and his acceptance of that. And if you skipped it, then you missed a little something and you'll be okay. What we haven't seen from Falcon is leadership.
Yeah.
I think where it's going to come in. So what do you think about U.S. Agent or Captain America? I just a big U.S. Agent fan, but like just a situation.
Honestly, I'm neutral on everything. I just haven't seen anything that's wowed me, and I haven't seen anything that's like made me like dislike it. I'm kind of just on the ride right now.
Well, I mean, like, I don't think he's a bad dude.
I don't think so either. I definitely think they're trying to go for that. They're trying to echo off of the first Captain America. The whole like he's the poster boy. Yeah,
and the government is, and it was funny because I'm watching it. I'm watching the train scene. I actually wrote in my notes. I'm like, this feels like Winter Soldier, like grounded Captain America, the movie Winter Soldier. It feels like the grounded Captain America action. And then I'm like, okay, this feels like Winter Soldier, and all of a sudden Captain America jumps in, and then it's like, oh, there he is. Like, I wasn't even expecting him. I thought that was going to wind up later. And, they're not just making him a dick. Like, fandom is like, that's not my Captain America.
Yeah.
And
fandom hates him.
And I think the show is aware of that. The show knows that. But he is not a bad guy. He's just somebody presented him with this.
Yeah.
But what I thought, because at first I see him in a football game and making speeches, I thought they were going back to like when Steve Rogers first started being Captain America. Exactly. He was like the USO symbol.
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, they're going that route with him. They're going to make him a showboat.
And all of a sudden, exactly.
Now all of a sudden he's showing up on missions, and he's got like level 7 clearance where he could bust Bucky out of jail and stuff. And he's really making an approach with these two guys.
Yeah.
And I understand the two guys. So there's that dynamic is real and it's not forced. But what they're saying, he's like, he's trying, and finally at the end.
So let me ask you this. You know a lot about this character.
U.S. Agent.
He has no powers, right? He's just a human at this point?
But I have a theory about that too.
So then, I don't know. Seeing him show up with that shield and fighting just like Captain America, to me, it took away from Captain America. So I'm just like, so wait, anybody can get this shield and just throw it around and boomerang it right back and everything,
You kind of contradicted the theory I was going to have, because I was like, okay, that shield's like a big old vibranium plate. Maybe it's not as heavy as we think.
I don't think vibranium, because vibranium and adamantium, they exist in the same world.
Now they do.
They always have. Just, within this modern age.
Yeah.
Like originally Stan Lee, they existed in the same world. Adamantium was the heavier. Vibranium is lighter.
Yeah.
It's a light material. It's just more for defense.
Yeah, because even Black Panther's costume, I think, has a vibranium.
Yeah.
And Vision's made of vibranium.
Exactly.
Bucky's arm is vibranium.
Yes.
So yes, it is a lightweight thing. He didn't.
I don't know. I don't know. It took away from me. I was just like, oh, so anyone can honestly just pick this up and train with it a little bit and be perfect.
Well,
fine.
not everybody could fight Thanos, because if Falcon took a punch from Thanos, he'd be splat in the wall.
I'm not talking about Thanos. I'm talking about the agent.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I think one of the important things happening in this show is there's super serum flying around.
Yeah.
I think U.S. agent's going to get super serumed for something. I think Falcon's going to, because if they're going to level back up into this Marvel universe,
I would like that.
They can't be fighting aliens. Like I said, Captain America took a punch on the ground, like Thanos straight up down punched him in the ground.
Yeah.
That would have splattered Falcon.
Yeah.
So if you're going to level these guys up, like U.S. Agent, I expect him, maybe not at the end of the show, maybe he'll disappear and become as U.S. Agent, and we'll kind of know his background, because that's in the comics, it is his thing. He was a replacement Captain America. He was a little grittier. You know, he pulled out his gun, shot somebody.
Yeah. He wasn't afraid to go the extra mile.
Yeah, he's like the dirty Captain America.
Yeah.
So what they do is they make his costume later, so it's not as reflective as Captain America. And even in the movie, they might remove it more from Captain America and give him a different shield. I believe Falcon's going to get that shield.
Yeah.
But I also think for Falcon to become the leader of Avengers, he needs to level up strength-wise.
Yeah. You think he'll end up being the leader?
I would like to see it, but I think he's got to earn it. I don't think he's even going to earn it in this show. I think he's going to earn it through some movies. I was going
to say, if it's just going to be after this show, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that.
Because they're not going to, we don't even know where all the chess pieces are.
Exactly.
Like, what's Hulk doing? What's, Thor's flying off, and there might have Natalie Portman, might be the new Thor. Everything's going to, but we need that. We can't have Infinity War and Endgame every year.
Yeah.
They can't do that. They gotta, it's gonna be that, or like,
it's gonna be another decade worth of movies
of them building stuff up.
Movies and content that's leading to another Endgame and Infinity War scenario.
And then the next big event will be like they earned Infinity War. The studio earned Captain America putting up Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
And we bought it because we went for the ride that long. Yeah. And we got it. We understood it. They got to build up the next thing they're doing. Now, the same people are in charge. The same people. It's Kevin Feige.
Oh, Feige, okay.
Feige's still there.
Yeah.
Feige got us this far. So he's going to get. So let me make the contradiction for you. So let me give you Star Wars. So Star Wars, we got burned from Star Wars with the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, we're just going to give you some movies. We haven't even made a plan. We're just changing directors. We don't even know what we're doing. They did every movie at a time with no outline. Marvel's never had that. Marvel's always had a plan.
Oh, always, yeah.
The thing that brought us back into Star Wars was because Star Wars didn't care about Disney Plus. Star Wars was probably planning their next trilogy. And then Jon Favreau's like, ooh, I want to do a Mandalorian show. And they're like, hey, you did Iron Man. You got street cred. Run your thing. Dave Filoni's involved. Or like, you guys are killing it. Here's an Ahsoka show. Boom, boom. Like, Star Wars blossomed on TV.
Yeah.
Whereas Marvel, it's like, we came back and we haven't seen Marvel in a year. So they got a different...
And we've never seen it on TV.
Yeah, we never seen it on TV. And like with Star Wars, we're like, well, let's watch it and hope it's good because it's a Star Wars TV show. It's not trying to be... Star Wars always has that episodic thing.
Yeah.
So everything that's not the episodic thing has no expectations. Marvel, we just see Scarlet Witch and Vision again, and we're like, okay, we're at the movies again.
Yeah.
But they're doing something different. Like I said, the plan was for movies to be coming out right now.
So then let me ask you this. So if you, because I do believe that before coronavirus, Doctor Strange was supposed to release in March.
Yeah, so Doctor Strange should have been out right now.
It would have been out right now. So then
it probably would have came right off for WandaVision.
So right before or after?
Probably right after. It probably
right
been because March. What month is? Yeah, because maybe WandaVision might have came out a little sooner. They might have gave WandaVision more time. They were pushing it, but probably because Doctor Strange got delayed, they let it slide.
Okay.
Because
I was going to ask then what word it would have been strange for it would have been no pun, but it would have been strange for Doctor Strange to come out first and then WandaVision.
Yeah. WandaVision, because I watched the behind the scenes of WandaVision, which is really interesting. The I forget what it's called, but Assembled. It's like a good behind it, like Mandalorian had that show, like the making of and everything. But I think WandaVision was pushing it, and they were getting behind deadline, and they probably got delayed too.
Yeah.
But there was a point they were like, you guys got to finish by now or we can't put it on, which I don't get because it's not a TV schedule. It's just a stream. Just stick it on whenever.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is Marvel's always had a plan. Whether it's been sloppy getting there or whatever, but they always have a plan, where Star Wars never had a plan.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
With that was the problem with the sequel trilogy was, we're going to make a new Star Wars trilogy. Here's one.
Yeah.
Let's switch directors to spice it up. And the other guy goes in there and is like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make Luke Skywalker a jerk. Or
Yeah. Marvel definitely set the tone for cinematic period. Everybody wants to create a universe like Marvel did.
Yeah, so I think
I agree with that.
They need to, but Iron Man's gone. Captain America's gone. So they're shaking things up. They're rebuilding almost from scratch. They got that history.
Yeah.
But they're rebuilding.
All I know is if Falcon becomes the new leader of the Avengers, I definitely want to see how that happens.
Yes.
A lot needs to happen for that to happen to me personally as a fan, to be like, okay.
Yeah. And I don't think,
especially when I see so many others that I'm like, okay, well, why wouldn't he take lead of that? Why would it end up being Falcon? I need to see that journey.
well, where I think he's going to end up, the first show of leadership is going to come in this show. Not necessarily him leading the Avengers, because like I said, his disagreement with John Walker is real.
Yeah.
And everybody's got their views about it. But John Walker's trying to do the mission. He's trying to do the mission. There's going to be a part maybe where John Walker fails. Or I'm thinking like, Falcon's going to take command of the situation.
Yeah.
And be like, because Falcon kind of tried to work with them. And then Bucky was the guy like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Bucky was just like, no. Like, because the other guy was just like, I'm Captain America's sidekick. And Bucky's like, no, I'm going to deal with anything.
I mean, the second exchange that they had after the fact, Falcon was the one that was like, no.
Was it Falcon that walked away the second time?
Actually, but I think it was because just
you're right.
He was just saying that we have more freedom if we don't.
Yeah.
But then that automatically put them in opposition with
I think at that point, John Walker was like, I've tried with you guys 3 times. I'm done. Like I can't keep trying to get you guys on board.
He just straight out threatened them though.
Yeah, sort of. He was just like, stay out of my way, because if you are free agents, I'm the government, and I'm doing all this pull. Like I'm done dealing with you guys.
Yeah.
Don't become a problem. So I think John Walker's going to have a little bit of failure, which is going to take him away from being Captain America. Is going to transition him into U.S. agent.
No.
And somewhere Falcon's going to step up.
Now let me ask you a little bit more about his partner, Battlestar.
Yeah.
What's going on with him? I don't know anything about these characters.
I actually checked on my phone a little bit before we started the show. I'm like, I know nothing about Battlestar.
Okay.
But it was like he was U.S. agent's sidekick, or I think he actually, that character, Lamar Hoskins.
Okay. Yeah.
When U.S. agent was Captain America, he became Bucky for a little bit. Like he became the new Bucky. And these are comics that are written in the 60s or 70s. So that storyline doesn't translate well. Like we need a new Bucky, because Bucky was never really Bucky. In the old Captain America comics, Bucky was the goofy Robin.
Okay.
Like he had a mask and a different costume.
Okay.
We never saw that happen with Bucky. He just went from a soldier to Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But I think he became Battlestar one time when he became his own character. It's like a D-list character. There's a little history with him and U.S. agent, but now they just made it like, we're just partners.
Yeah.
And they gave him like, he's a soldier too. They had a little exchange in the beginning to kind of explore him.
Yeah.
So he's U.S. agent's partner. I don't know if anything's going to happen with him or anything. Like I expect to see Monica Rambeau do something. I don't know if I'm going to see this guy do anything. I feel like a throwaway. Maybe not, but maybe still in that world. But
what about the who was it? I forget his name, but it was the first black super soldier, the guy that they ended up going and visiting.
Yeah. He had an exchange with Isaiah.
Okay.
And and apparently that's the little mystery going on, because he said something to Winter Soldier saying your people and my people, so people were still toying around with making this Captain America thing.
Yeah.
So whether it was because he went to prison or something, so whatever, I don't know. That's something that needs to be explored or something, because apparently going back to Hydra's got some kind of something to do with this.
Yeah.
With the super serum flowing around. That they made it. They're the guys that gave it to Bucky.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that super serum is going to play a part in things. And like the Flag Smashers, and Zemo's back into play. So to get Zemo back into play, because Zemo broke up the Avengers. I mean, he's not Thanos.
Yeah.
But he did a lot of damage with a little.
Yeah, he really did.
I mean, my favorite exchanges were like, My favorite scene is one of my favorite things about Civil War is like Black Panther. He goes up and he goes, I'm sorry about your father. He was a good man. I was just doing my thing. And he's like, he goes to blow his brains out, and Black Panther's like, the living are not done with you yet. And I was like, oh, Black Panther's awesome. It's just so cool. Every word he said was cool. But I don't know where he would stand now except for his knowledge. But we've seen trailers or scenes with him with the straight up Baron Zemo purple hood, the signature hood. If he gets out and he becomes another player in this little, because you're also exploring the stuff from the blip or the snap.
Yeah.
Spider-Man kind of
got this whole faction.
Yeah, it's the Flag Smashers, because they're like, we like the way things were before when things were a little more underground. Now governments are forming and stuff. So there's a little history behind it. Spider-Man kind of made a joke of the blip because they showed like basketball players crashing into each other.
Yeah.
WandaVision gave us a little more with Monica coming back, like the chaos of it.
Yeah.
And Falcon and Winter Soldier is exploring, like, people have different feelings about the situation. Because you went 5 years with half the world. I mean, think about it. You go 5 years, we get used to this kind of life, and all of a sudden we're overrun with the population that we're trying. Everything's displaced.
Yeah.
Governments are reforming and things are getting bloated. So I kind of see that point. Whatever the bigger picture is and whatever the thing is behind the Flag Smashers, or when that one, the Flag Smasher girl that was in charge, when Carly got that text, like, I'm going to get back what you took from me.
Yeah.
I thought that was Zemo. I thought Zemo was out already.
Controlling it,
because I knew Zemo was in the show. So I'm like, okay, Zemo's going to kill all these people.
Yeah.
But apparently Zemo's behind bars. So it doesn't mean nothing. But, there, it's just interesting. That's what I'm saying. If you take it for the smaller level story, and it's if you just take it for what it is, a TV show, a character explanation, and that's how I think this was meant to be. Like I said, the stuff was meant to happen with movies still happening.
Yeah.
It's just to keep you giving your Marvel fix.
I just know it's got to, like you said, it's got to lead to something.
Yeah.
Even if it's not something extra spectacular and grandiose, I'd still know.
Well,
it's telling a key part of the story. So I'm just wondering, like, what is it?
Well, Falcon's not opening up to Bucky so much. He says, "Why didn't you take the shield?" And he goes, I just thought it was the right thing to do." He's still not cracking the armor. When you crack that armor and you start to learn who Falcon is.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, I'm excited to see where it goes. I want to see where this goes, like the future Marvel. Now, saying that, Marvel went into this TV stuff with this one thing, but now there's more Marvel shows going, and the movies are getting delayed. And there was, like I said, the precedent set by the Star Wars shows might change it, and these shows might have more bigger impacts than they were meant to do now.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the shows that they're going to make might have a little more punch to them than what we had. But like I said, I'm still happy about my Disney Plus subscription.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We got some, and then in the fall we got some Star Wars coming back and everything. So I'm in for the ride, and I definitely want to see where this goes. I definitely want to thank Khiim once again. Always fun doing this with you, buddy. And we will see you guys in a couple weeks.